It's all about the docket. As always, on time. Edwin Obuya is in the hizo kamakawa kamadawa.
Good morning, my
good
brother.
Morning. Mambo
iko sawa.
Unakaa kama umechemka kabisa.
Tuko sawa kabisa. Tunangoja impeachment.
And Fanya Mambo Kinodi is also in the house.
Yes, a very good morning.
You guys everybody. Called it last week. You said impeachment.
We said it was coming.
It was coming.
It was coming.
But Obuya, do they have the numbers?
The president always calls the shot when it comes to parliament. Remember, BBI was very unpopular to some people, but it went through. Yeah, for the first time. That's the first and the only time that Parliament has achieved 2/3 majority. That's the only time that Parliament got 233 the magic number of 233 to pass that BBI bill. And Ruto, being Ruto, if we wanted to get that 233, he was going to get it very easily. And from what we are hearing, the rumors and the grapevine is that even the people who have signed that petition, the motion to impeach Deputy President Gachagua, there are more than 300 MPs. And so that just shows you how the whipping has been done. Although we haven't seen the text, the motion itself, we have not even been told what are the charges that are facing Gachagua, but are told that the numbers are huge. So there's no issue about the numbers. The legality now, whether the grounds that are going to be preferred against Gachagua, that's now what will be the issue. Do they then withstand the test of the Constitution? Do they meet the grounds that are set out, the threshold?
Yes. There's quite a list of things that they said, but that's not the issue. The issue is how much is going to be spent in the process, because I know most of our members of parliament are not there for free. Though I saw one member of parliament saying that even if they have to contribute money to remove Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, that they hate him that passionately. So he's facing a very difficult situation in parliament. Yeah. And I said here before, his goose is cooked. Riggy G is going home. It's a question of when and how he will go home. But he's going home. And I remember advising him to wait until when Senate is just about to vote and then he resigns. Otherwise, if he's impeached, then it means he'll never hold public office for 10 years.
Rigiji doesn't appear to be enjoying any support, even from his backyard.
Obuya, you saw him over the weekend in Mount Kenya East.
Yes, he actually traversed. He went to Kirinyaga, he went to Meru, he went to Tharaka. You know, and I think he's just telling people, we've seen him doing an interview on Kalenjin stations. We saw him doing an interview with the Meru speaking stations. Yeah. It's just saying goodbye. I think he's just trying to, prepare people to ni kama anaambia watu mimi nime left group, but I will be back. And like Fanyamambo says, if he was to be, yesterday he said he's not going to resign. He said, bring it on, I'm ready. My team of lawyers has, I've sat down with them and we are ready for you. But it will be very difficult for him if he's impeached, because like Fanyamambo says, he can't hold office for 10 years. That's the same fate that is affecting Waititu. That's the same fate that is with Sonko. So once you're impeached, it becomes very, very difficult for you to hold public office. The law says you can't hold the public office. And so I really want to know, from political pundits are saying that maybe he will wait, he will be impeached by the National Assembly, he will be a committee or the plenary of the Senate will be called to go and defend himself against the charges that have been preferred against him. Watu wanasema kwamba ataenda huko kuchafua. Now he will go and just anika the serikali, say this is the rot that is in this government. And then at the end of the speech say, adios, I resign.
I'm out.
And anybody who appears to be supporting Rigiji is having problems. Ititu is one person who unfortunately commands a lot of support, by the way. He's a crowd mover. He goes with his untucked shirts and he's a hurricane. And people follow him all over. And so I think the government is afraid of having Waititu on Gachagua's side, because he's a crowd mover. He's liked for the fact that he's crazy. And he also likes the fact that he's crazy. So I think he's not there for any side back. I wish they looked for something else. like said maybe he was vulgar somewhere, Kenyans would understand. But now cyber crimes and Waititu in the same phrase, that's a problem.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. I can defend him on that one.
But they're saying he uttered some words that are said to be inciting. Is that if you impeach Rigiji, then you are going to impeach President William Ruto. You know, some of these charges, I don't know who advises the government, because right now Kenyans are so mad, so angry with the lots and lots of things. Then you go and arrest Waititu. Okay, people would have said Waititu is a politician, is among part of you, so arrest him. You know how you do your things. Then you go and arrest Morara, Kebaso again.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? You just angering people more and more. And yesterday when you on X, it was actually literally fire. It was fire. It was heating up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fanyamambo and his people again go back to the streets, because from what the vibe I was getting yesterday, the anger is actually on a boiling point. And so I think the government just needs, I don't know if it's by design or what, because you can't be making blunder after blunder after blunder after blunder. So right now we are very mad with Shah, Chief, whatever they call it.
Correct.
And then you know the Adani things, the whatever you are doing, and then you go and arrest Morara, you go and arrest for what? To what will Morara do to you? So
Arresting Morara Kebaso on the eve of A, Rigaji's impeachment, B, Shah Schiff launch. Is that a distraction?
No, I don't think it's a distraction. This is a government that just reacts to everything. They never have a plan. Rigiji once said that the NSIS is messed up. He once said that the intelligence is not working.
He said Nurdin should go home.
He said Nurdin should go home. I can't agree more with him, because this is an intelligence service that comes and says Ford Foundation is funding Maandamano. Then they say no, it's Uhuru Kenyatta. Then they say no, it is the Russians. Then they say no, we have decided nobody is funding Maandamano. Then they start arresting everybody and abdicating everybody. We've lost 132 people that we don't know where they are. And even the intelligence of this country does not know where they are. And then you are saying that we have an intelligence service in this country. Intelligence about what? I mean, an intelligence service should have known that this is the wrong time to arrest somebody like Morara. You only make him more popular. This is the wrong time to arrest Waititu. You only make him more popular. You only create more empathy towards the person of Rigiji. And so these persecutions are useless. I think DCI needs to sit side and ask themselves, where is the problem? And the problem is that we have a horrible government in place. Start asking yourselves, by the time you campaign with someone for a very long time, and then decide you want to impeach that person, and then you start saying that that person is the problem is you. I mean, you need to start looking at the mirror and asking yourself, what is wrong with this administration? They are the same guys who come and bring you a horrible finance bill, and then when you make noise about it, they shoot you in the head, spill the brains of our young people on the streets, and then start wondering what is wrong with young people. They don't see finance bill as a problem. They don't see Chief as a problem. They don't see anything they do as a problem. They see us as Kenyans that we are the problems. And we have always told them, there is an option. Kenya Kwanza, mukishindwa kugovern Kenya, just resign. You don't have to be in government, because it appears there's nowhere where they've been successful. There is nothing they are doing right. You can't wake up and just decide that arresting everybody is going to help you. Na tukijileta sisi wote cells zijae, what will they do?
Isn't that Moi style, Obuya?
Yeah, once that state of lawlessness kicks in, Jeff, it just spirals into something else. You hear somebody being sodomized in Mombasa because you said something that is not right with the powers that be in the county. You see the Meru blogger that was killed because he posted or said something that was not right by the powers that be in the county. That state of lawlessness continues to spiral, and it will get into something else, because once I see that the government does not respect the law, then why should I respect that law? If the government then does not respect that law, if Kindiki, for example, CS, can come to Parliament and say, we don't know where 132 people are, who should know? You are the CS of Interior Security. Who
Go home
know?
Until you know.
Who should know? If
come back when you know.
132 Kenyans, Jeff, that's a huge number.
Yeah.
42 dead, 132 you don't know. And those are government numbers, like you. Because I'm sure they might have, tried to conceal the number so
Correct.
that it doesn't appear to be something big.
Correct.
But 132 people, not a government not knowing where the people are. it's a huge thing.
It's a disappointment.
And the problem is that we are normalizing these things. We are normalizing the state of lawlessness. We are normalizing the state of corruption. We are normalizing, MPs can come and say, we had an issue with this chief deal with 104 billion, but we've been explained, it's okay. It's not okay. I saw my sister Baraza Mulongo yesterday. She couldn't explain anything.
Did you see that?
She couldn't explain anything.
And she's
and you are the person who is supposed to be at the center of this shift thing, and you are being asked, and you are fumbling throughout.
About shift that make me feel like I want to leave the show immediately and just go to the streets and demonstrate alone, like a madman alone. Probably just go in a vest and remove my top. Everybody who is on kidney dialysis got a phone call yesterday and the day before yesterday. I have 2 friends, one of whom I've had to send some little money today, because they pay 9,800 for each session. And this person must do 2 per week. And SHIF, that is charging more than NHIF, in their limited wisdom, has decided that they are not going to pay for kidney dialysis. Jeff, the people who are suffering from kidney problems in this country are crying. Can you imagine from 1st of October? People were dreading this date. People have come to hate 1st of October. You can imagine if 1st of October is your birthday and now you have to hate it because there's an idiotic thing called shift that has come, and from now on you have to pay 9,800 for dialysis. I mean, who chooses to have a sick kidney?
And you have to pay cash.
And you have to pay cash. 9,800, money that most families do not have. And you find some people do 2 or 3 in a week. It gets worse. This shift thing was made in hell, and it needs to go back to hell. Look, Jeff, they are saying that for women who deliver children, that you can only get 2 postnatal visits. Now, why are we making it criminal for people to have children in this country? NHIF did not care how many times you went back to hospital after you had given birth, because babies for us as a country are a precious thing. Wewe kama huna mtoto, wale walitengeneza hii shift, they should go to another country. Now, any woman who gives birth today, you can only go for 2 visits under this shift thing. That's why I'm saying this shift was crafted in hell. It is designed in hell. It's a masterpiece from hell, and it must go back to hell. I am so angry about it. Every Kenyan is so angry about it. Today, people are now making WhatsApp groups this morning asking people to saidieni jameni. You know, kidney dialysis is very expensive. It's also very painful. And people have to go through it. And the shift that is charging more than NHIF does not want to allow people to benefit from it, so they are paying in cash.
Why aren't they allowing kidney dialysis?
Because the chief is designed to just steal from Kenyans. I mean, the whole idea behind paying for medical insurance is that medical insurance caters for you. Now, if they come and tell you that we want you to pay chief, but when it comes to dialysis, we are not going to cater for it. It means we want to collect as much as we can from chief and retain everything. And so Kenyans are going through pain. If there's one thing that really must be addressed, is the issue of people on dialysis. And if they are going to have a demonstration, I will join them. I do not have a kidney problem, I thank God. But it is so painful. 9,800 per session. For most families, it's a lot of money.
That's 30K a week.
Yes, it's a lot of money.
One of the better ideas I thought they came up with was the shift shaft thing. And I had issues with how expensive it was. The 2.75. I think it's too expensive in my opinion. But the idea of medical insurance is a very good idea. The problem comes in when the benefits we are going to get from this SHA thing they're just too little. When you are told that you're going to get 2,000 for dental per year. 2,000. So how does that? Even
to clean my teeth takes more.
Yes, you're being told that you are going to get 1,000 for eye care for a whole year. It just that doesn't add up. When you are told that for cancer screening you are going to get the benefit subject to money being available. How will you know that money is available? Does my sickness wait for money to be available? When you are sick, whether the money is there or not. Yeah. And so I think the rollout, Kenya Kwanza, even this good idea that I thought they had, they are, making it look bad again. It started off with a scandal, 1.4 billion scandal, and even the basic things, hata kuzaa tu 33,000 for CS, that's too little, Jeff. CS in any hospital right now, not ukenda CS watakwambia ni 150, 180.
No, not 30.
Oh, Jeff,
Yes.
our good friend Cynthia has sent us a communique from Chief and Shah and all those collection of thieves. They have decided that no member will be denied. These are the letters they do at midnight when they hear Kenyans are reacting.
Correct.
That no member will be denied dialysis and cancer services. That maternity services should not be denied in level 2 and 3. Active managed schemes should continue accessing services. So now I think they've had the noise that we are making, but now you are reacting on the midnight. These are letters like the one they were telling children to go back to school at midnight. I still tell you, these people have no idea the harm they are causing to the lives of Kenyans. And so we are saying we hope that it is true, and we tell every other Kenyan who was on kidney dialysis and was supposed to go today, we know so many of you,
yes,
just go to the hospital and plead your case.
But
and if they deny you, let us know. We will make so much noise about it. We will make so much noise about, because this is a human right.
What about those hospitals that are mashinani and they said that they haven't gotten the communique?
The letter from midnight.
The midnight letter.
Then I think Kenyans just need to go and carry even copies of these letters. We should share them as widely as we possibly can. I'll put them on all my socials. But this is an atrocity. It is really atrocious to the Kenyan people, and it is insensitive to them. So we thank God that this letter has come, but it has come too late in the day, because even me, I'm getting to seeing it right now. It was done in the night somewhere.
I think the confusion that comes in Kenya Kwanza governance style is what is amazing, because it's as if they don't plan ahead.
Yeah.
They wait, realize something is wrong, then they react. Wait, something is wrong, then they react. And it has been that case for the last 2 years. They have been in power. Jeff, if you are getting 50,000 of, let's go with 100,000. There are very few Kenyans who get 100,000 and above salary-wise. You will have, just quick calculation, you will pay 33,000 per year.
Per year
for shift, or Zitsha.
Yeah.
You will pay or whatever you wanted to say. So 33,000 shillings per year. The benefit you are going to get per year for checkup, I was told, is it 900 shillings for checkup, you as an individual?
Yeah.
900 shillings.
Out of 33.
Yes. Even diabetic, even to diabetic patients, they are only catering for one patient per household. So if you are two in that household that are diabetic, mwingine atajipanga, ni mmoja tu atajipanga.
You change your house.
And then unless you're changing your house, and then you go for 2 visits only per year. And so the benefits, they are very little compared to the amounts you are paying. And the problem is that, Jeff, we have continued to rely on a very small percentage of Kenyans who are salaried.
Yeah.
Because those
20%.
those are the only people that are going to suffer. When you are told that those people who don't have salary, they are going to to do what means testing and decide what amount they are going to pay. They are going to ask you a question: do you have a TV in your house?
Right.
Or do you have a toilet? Do you have? Then they decide, huyu atalipa 300, huyu atalipa 700. It's not just clear. It's not clear, and I think we are doing this in a rush. We did this with the CBC. We see where we are. We did this with the university funding model. We see where we are. We are doing this with health, and health is very key. A sick nation is you can't function.
Forget it.
You can't function, and they could just have given time and explain to Kenyans and you roll out something that Kenyans are okay with it and it's ready to function, because as it is right now, this thing is not ready.
If I was earning 50,000, I'm still earning 50,000. Now it's because when we had a government before 2022, they used to have subsidy on school fees. Talk to any parent right now, they'll tell you paying school fees now is a nightmare. So the salary that was 50,000 for a parent first is now paying school fees. is also subject to a horrible university funding model. And now it's being raided by a chief. And it would have been, and I thank God we brought down the finance bill, that same salary would still have been subject to a horrible finance bill that would have probably taken everything else from it.
Don't forget the housing.
And some houses that we never needed.
NSSF.
And NSSF and so on and so forth. So basically, nobody wants to address that. A caring government should be addressing itself to how are the incomes of our people? What are we doing to create employment opportunities for our people? What are we doing so that what we have available at the disposal of our people is there? Like now, I've always told this government, if they were using their brains, I would look for 10 billion every Thursday and just pay suppliers. You know, those suppliers who are owed $1 million, $2 million, just pay them. Kenya would have liquidity for the whole weekend. Even Uber drivers would be happy, club owners would be happy. You'd even probably forget their problems in this country. They just need to be looking for 10 billion ikifika Thursday, wanaeka kwa accounts za suppliers. That money will circulate over the weekend. They'll take it back in taxation because people drink a lot of beer and then it will be taxed and so on and so forth. So there would be liquidity in this country and the government would have money to tax. But hata hii ya kulipa suppliers hawalipi. And that's why this country is where it is. It just needs people who have got the capacity to think, placed in positions to make decisions. But right now, we've just chosen those who have no capacity to think. I think the only thing that is exciting them as a nation right now is that there's an issue of impeaching a deputy president.
Yeah, but that's the point here, by the way. We have forgotten Adani. We've forgotten JKIA.
Yes, they confuse us to get avenues to make deals. Because they come up with haphazard policies, and then in that confusion, they make a deal. They make 1 billion here, make 2 billion there. Right now, JKIA is almost a done deal.
Yeah.
That's a done deal. It is gone.
a done deal, nice.
It is gone.
Yes.
Kentraco, we've forgotten. I
Correct.
think that one, tuliyakubali hiyo imeenda. Ndio hiyo shift MPs wamesema this is okay. Hiyo shift ya dani kwa shift wamesema that's okay. Imeenda. Na tuambiwa ni kampuni ya mke wa David Ndii. Yes, we have been told. It's been said that she's called Gatabaki. Yes, she is the owner of that company that is want to fleece us 104 billion shillings.
You see, without mentioning names, and
please mention.
No, without mentioning names and without body shaming, we can already see some of where our money is going to. You cannot balloon like that.
Yes. Body shaming.
Yeah, without body shaming and without mentioning names.
Yes.
Some people have really ballooned. Now we understand where our money is going to. We are eating tau without breaks.
Yeah.
I think the problem is, Jeff, please don't beat yourself too much. Because sometimes as Kenyans we tend to say, oh, now we've forgotten Adani, we forgot. No, you haven't forgotten. The Kenya Kwanza is so busy working at midnight, making so many bad deals that you have to react to all of them. And if you did, it means then you wouldn't work. Because unaenda kufanya kazi unasikia kuna Dani, unaenda kufanya unasikia kuna Chief, unasikia kuna Sha, sini utasikia kuna Shylock. There will be just too many things going on. So Kenyans, please don't kill yourself and think that you're a bad person, that you've not been able to follow through their schemes. As we speak right now, there's no leadership plan being made where they are. They're just cutting deals. They're busy. Soon mutasikia zingine zimelipuka. There are like 55 others in the pipeline. And they're all horrible and miserable and calculated towards finishing you completely. So please just know that as you react to university funding model and SHA and SHIF and whatever, there are others being made. I think let us focus. God has given us an opportunity where one of the biggest and strongest, one of the second strongest members of this administration is about to be taken home by the same administration. So we support them to remove one of their own, and then we continue weakening this boat from within. Because for us as Kenyans, what we don't really need is this administration. Others, for as long as they're in power, we shall have conversations about so many other things. Those are just symptoms of a bad disease, which is Kenya Kwanza.
To Gachagua.
Yes.
How come the president hasn't said a word about any of this?
Mtu anasimama ananitukana. Anasema mimi ni nyoka na president yako pale na president aongei. Sasa anasema labda hiyo ndio the new way of doing things. Kila mtu aongee na mtu asiulize mtu anaongea anasema nini. But the fact is that even for the MPs, Kenya Kwanza MPs, to moot the idea of impeaching the deputy president. The president was aware. Even for them to imagine that idea, the president gave them either that indication, either he just stayed silent or said, okay, go ahead. Because, you know, we are in Kenya. Even Parliament doesn't pass bills if the president doesn't want them to go through. You know, there are laws that are passed in Parliament not because Kenyans want. Finance bill, for example, it was passed in Parliament not because Kenyans wanted, but because the president wanted. That's how strong a president we have, and is a president that we assume is a hands-on president. So he knows each and everything that goes on in Kenya Kwanza. For the MPs to come up with that impeachment motion, President William Ruto is well aware, and it just seems that the relationship between President Ruto and Gachagua is totally broken. I don't think they're in talking terms. I don't think whether if the president goes out, he tells Gachagua that, you know, I'll be traveling to New York. I believe he tells either Kindiki and Duale and a few others, but I don't believe he tells Rigiji. So Rigiji atako WhatsApp group wa yuko. So it ako tu.
This is the exact same thing that happened to Ruto under Uhuru, minus the impeachment. You know, Uhuru didn't follow up with an impeachment.
He didn't.
No.
Right?
But we are forgetting one thing. We are mixing two things. Uhuru never took the battle to Ruto. Ruto took the battle to Uhuru because Uhuru shook Raila's hand, which was necessary for calming the nation. But Ruto had a problem because he was so preoccupied with 2022 and he saw Raila as somebody coming to spoil his chances for 2022. But Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was a gentleman. Can you imagine, even after they shook hands, Raila got nothing in government. He was given a job at AU outside of this country. He was not given a job within cabinet. And cabinet, as they had constituted it with Ruto, was never shaken. In fact, I wonder what it is people say that was taken away from William Ruto. All his cabinet secretaries remained intact. All his PSAs remained intact. His influence as deputy president remained the same.
It's called access to State House, Ikulu.
No. He sat in all cabinet sittings. All. We don't know one.
But he never said a word.
He was never muted. And actually, when you think about it, the deputy chose to fight the president. This is very different. Today, the president is fighting his deputy. And how I want you to know it is this. How can you marshal 48 MPs to come and say they support Kindiki, but you can't marshal 48 MPs to fight Chief or Adani or NHIF or SHA or those things that are horrible within Kenya Kwanza? I mean, the deputy president was Ruto's pick when they were going for the campaign in 2020.
No, he wasn't. It was Kindiki.
Okay.
We know the story.
Okay.
It was Kindiki.
Okay, now, he's Ruto's deputy president.
Yes.
Where do MPs, so many of them from Kenya Kwanza, get the courage to fight the deputy president and they don't have the courage to fight Chief or Adani? It means Chief or Adani to the president are dear and they are supposed to happen. The deputy president is not dear to the president and he's not supposed to be around. And that's why they have the courage to do what they are doing. So they have the blessings of the president and they have the support of the president. And this thing is going to go through.
Obuya, who replaces Gachagua?
Kindiki.
And who replaces Kindiki?
Chungwa.
And who replaces Chungwa?
Didi. P. Didi.
P. Didi Nyoro. Is that how it's going to roll?
That's the promise. That's the
Yes.
promise to them. But you see, we have a president who is very shrewd, I must say, politically. Those are the promises he has made to them. And there is a very high likelihood he has to make those promises so that they support this. Now, most of the Meru MPs are very excited about having one of their own becoming deputy president. And once they support that, I will not be surprised. I will not be anywhere near surprised if President Ruto goes ahead and picks on Mudavadi and brings him in. And it will be a shocker for many. So because he knows, just promise this one, promise about 8 people, and then get the one you want in. And life goes on. Because again, more his style.
Yes.
But I think God is faithful. People don't understand what happens with these things. You know, there are many parts of our constitution that have never been tried. And God in his omnipotence might decide to try one part of our constitution. And he can try any one of them. And if he tried a specific one that is on my mind, then there's one person who would have been left as deputy that would not have been very exciting.
Which is the one on your mind?
No. The one that would leave somebody who is deputy to become president. And so God has decided to give us an opportunity to change our deputy when we still can. So let us continue thanking God. He's doing a good job in the country. He has envisioned things that we cannot see. So let us be happy and continue working on it.
I think Rigiji's goose is cooked. It's not going to take until December. I think this week the National Assembly will be done with him. Today we expect that my uncle Wetangula Wetangula atakuja kusema amekupali motion. Papa wa Roma akishasema motion imekubalika, alafu sasa watu waanze kulipet. Hiyo debate itachukua tu one day. Then I am sure they will achieve the 233 number, the magic number, which is 233.
3 or 2.
What? 233.
Okay, it's 233, but they'll get 3 or 2.
Hii kitu inatembea.
Obvious, hiyo ni part of politics. It has to work. Lazima we just pray that tutafikiwa. Ikitembea pia sisi tutafikiwa, we benefit here and there. Then they are going to communicate to the Senate Speaker. The Senate Speaker then will call for a meeting probably next week Tuesday. They will decide, do they go plenary, do they go committee way. Committee way is you call 11 member committee. And then I doubt if they will go the committee way. I think they will go the plenary way, and then they will give both parties time, maybe 4 days to prepare the motions and come and present to the Senate, and then they will call Rigiji to come and defend himself against the charges that we'll be facing.
And he's a truthful man.
And the truthful man from grapevine is that he will come to defend himself, and he will going to spill the beans of what has been happening in this government for the last 2 years, of how the billions were taken, dollars were taken out of the treasury so that to make, when we were having issues with the dollar and the shilling, he says some people took dollars out of the treasury. And so we are going to hear all those things on that day. Then when he finishes, he says, fellow Kenyans, I resign. Hata hatujamaliza nini episode bado
season 1.
I think he will pull a Samson. You know the way Samson looked, where are the pillars?
Yes.
And he was blinded. Just show me, let me touch the pillars.
Yes.
I'm coming down with the castle.
He's going to bring it down.
And I believe that's what Rigiji will do. Because you see, at National Assembly, the Constitution does not allow him to defend himself at National Assembly. So 2 days it goes to Senate. In fact, after impeachment, within 2 days, it has, and I know they'll do it same day, hata kama ni midnight, they'll tell the Senate Speaker, gets the Senate Speaker, and they start. So when he's given a chance to defend himself, the Rigiji, I know, will ask for, where are the pillars that hold this building? And he will close his eyes and hold them. And he will go down with the whole building. I am sure he's going to spill out a lot. He's going to say a lot. And at this point, as he says, that's the point at which he's going to resign. But I don't think Rigiji would be the kind of person to die on his own. No, he has to bring down.
Gentlemen.
So today we're expecting Morara in court. We're expecting Waititu in court.
Your senator spent the whole night looking for Morara Kebaso. And he actually went to DCI headquarters. And they said all sorts of things. I was following that.
And the GenZs said they might hit the streets today.
Yes.